Hail and kill everybody. This is Ross the Boss from New York City.
This is Diana van Giersbergen from Xandria.
Hey, this is Cam Pipes from 3 Inches of Blood.
This is Cobra Page from Cobra and the Lotus.
Hey guys, this is Stu from Death Dealer, and you're listening to the Great Metal Debate Podcast.
Welcome, Great Metal Debate listeners, to another interview with one of the most talented and intense bands hailing from Louisville, Kentucky. With us tonight, we have Blake, Greg, John, and Josh from the death metal band Dysphorium. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and start us right off. Why don't you just give us a brief history of Dysphorium and kind of how it started and, how long it's been going, that sort of thing.
We started, I think it was 3 years ago. It was me and Blake.
2011, actually.
Okay,
yeah.
So 4 years ago. It was originally just me and Blake. We've known each other actually since we were like 5 years old. We went to kindergarten together.
We hated each other.
Yeah, we hated each other back then, and it's kind of funny. Blake was kind of the schoolyard bully, and definitely stole some of my Pokemon cards back in the day.
You bastard!
Exactly. Yeah, but we started hanging out again senior year of high school, and I was playing guitar, and he mentioned that he wanted to, start taking bass more seriously, and we just started jamming, and then John joined us when Blake was working at Dick's Sporting Goods and met John there.
Yeah.
And
pretty funny story, actually. Yeah.
So
it's kind of a long story.
You can go ahead and tell the story.
It was just basically, yeah, like I was just like, oh, me and Greg are, trying to start a band. So I just went on the little microphone intercoms at Dick's Sporting Goods. It was like, hey, anybody that, plays metal at all, hit me up. We're looking for a drummer. And then then some coworker heard about it and that knew John that wasn't working that shift and told me about him. And I just went up to him and was like, hey, you should come jam with us. And basically he did, and it worked out for a while.
That's great, man. A Keith Moon story, except at Foot Locker. All right. So you started playing. Did you start out playing death metal?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think when we first started jamming, we were just playing like Black Sabbath and that kind of stuff.
We were just trying to jam together for a little bit.
Yeah. I had a couple original songs, just like 2 or 3, I think, at that point that we were jamming. It's I guess there would be was it. Now they're the Misanthrope, in the Wake of Indoctrination, and
Vessels of Dionysus.
Yeah, and Vessels of Dionysus. But that song, I think Vessels of Dionysus was written after Josh joined.
Well, no, y'all had the first 3.
Okay.
But I changed them around a little bit.
Josh, the story behind Josh joining is also kind of funny. So. Me and Blake I graduated from IUS recently, but Blake is, I think he graduates later this year. But we were still going there, and I was wearing an Immortal shirt at the library there. Me and Blake were just hanging out outside the library.
We're both wearing Immortal shirts.
Yeah, okay.
Actually.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we were just hanging out outside the library between classes, and this guy just comes up to us wearing kind of like a frilly looking shirt. He didn't look like somebody that played metal or liked metal, and just comes up and starts talking to us, saying that he really likes Immortal, and he's been trying to find a band, and that he was a vocalist, and he said that he was kind of a package deal with another guitar player, and we were looking for another guitar player and a singer, so it sounded pretty perfect. And he sent over some recordings that they had made, and so we have an audition with them, and the other guitar player is Josh, and
And the singer was Darian from Eschatos.
Because that band is not around anymore, but he, he joined for very briefly and then decided to quit. And when I heard that he was quitting, I was like, maybe I could do vocals. I actually called dibs on vocals. That's the reason why I'm the singer of this band, is because I called dibs.
So you called dibs. You picked your instruments out of a hat. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So the guy with the frilly shirt was an Immortals fan, and the rest is history. I like that.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. If
That's great.
This random guy that we'd never met before hadn't come up to us outside the library and just started talking with us, then it never would have happened.
Excellent. And so you guys have been playing around the Louisville scene for about 3 years. Is that correct?
I'd say 2.5.
2.5.
So,
It's been about a year and a half.
No, it's been more than that.
It's been our first show was like
2012.
our first show was in spring of 2013.
Yeah, no, it was January.
We don't even know.
We had been
Which would
playing
be 2013.
Yeah,
I-
the first
so-
song
That's not the spring. Okay, so about 2 years.
I would really appreciate it if we could have our first fist fight interview over there. That sounds like you guys are heading there. Let's do that.
We definitely engaged
You get
in
along
fisticuffs.
Well, I want to talk about that for. I mean, what's it like writing music when you have different opinions? I mean, how does that go?
I mean, for the most part, the good thing about our band is we're all pretty like-minded. So we'll have disagreements, but I mean, usually we'll put it to a vote, and if anybody has, the person that has the opposing idea, if they're
They take the stand, basically.
yeah, and if they don't have a convincing argument, then too bad if they can't come up with something better. But
Yeah, upside to it is that we all contribute to the songwriting.
Yeah,
It's a pretty good team effort.
we all recognize that we're all working towards a common goal, and that feelings don't really get hurt ever if somebody says that riff isn't too good, or stuff like that. So we're all on the same page as far as songwriting goes. I feel like
songwriting credits is not even an issue. I mean, it's split between all of us evenly.
That's great, man. That's great. And so,
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
We've seen what it's like when we have a lineup that doesn't work and doesn't mesh well together. So having it the way it is right now, we're pretty lucky to have that. So usually that band fights, that doesn't really factor into anything. We have we'll have disagreements, but we make sure it gets taken care of.
Cool. Well, let's talk about the new writing, and tell me a little bit about the new stuff you guys have been working on, and you've got an album coming out soon.
The album is set for release March 28th, and we are taking online pre-orders on the 13th.
Friday
the 13th.
Spook pre-orders.
And where's that pre-order? Where can they get the pre-order?
It's dysphorium.bigcartel.com. We'll be making a lot of posts about it on Facebook and stuff. But this album is it's just straightforward, fucking heavy mellow death. If you're into that kind of shit, just death metal that has a lot of melodic, kind of emotional sounding parts. That's what we're about.
I feel like as far as our upcoming album goes, it's kind of split into 2 parts. The way I think about it is the first 4 songs, with the exception of the first track, were written, I guess, in our earliest of
Those are
days.
our first 3 songs.
Yeah, the first some of
songs 2
those,
through 4.
yeah, songs 2 through 4 were written, some of them were written before we even started jamming by me, but I find those to be, I guess, less intricate and more simplistic. And I feel like that once we all kind of got our footing and knew each other, we were able to come up with more intricate and complicated music that
it's more interesting in general.
Yeah, which I feel like is the second half of the album where I think is where we really shine.
Yeah, and I feel like you can definitely tell that there's like a progression of the songs, like of the songwriting.
Just within one album, which is very interesting because it took so long to get it together, unfortunately.
So your writing of this has spanned several years.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say the writing of this album has spanned
at least 2 years,
like 7 years.
Well, yeah.
It depends on how far back you're counting.
Yeah, I mean, like I wrote The Misanthrope like my senior year of high school. So,
wow.
I mean, and it shows,
Yeah.
So.
Well, now let's now you said that you have each kind of complemented and added to it. Do y'all have you guys are very technical in your presentation of music. I mean, I can hear that in the songs that you have available to listen to. What's your musical training? I mean, are you classically trained? You self-taught? How'd your talent come about?
Well, me and John have both been to music school. John, how long were you in school for?
Let's see. Like for my musical training, quote unquote. Let's see. Started middle school taking lessons, doing band. Did that in high school. I was in Louisville Youth Orchestra, Louisville Youth Percussion Ensemble. Did marching band for 4 years. Then I got a performance scholarship to the University of Memphis, and I played in their symphonic band and orchestra there. And after that, I also took jazz. I took jazz lessons. So along with that, I also really like metal. So there's
quite to the resume.
Yeah. So that and music theory classes like that's helped quite a bit.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I went to U of L for about a year. I first picked up the guitar when I was a really little kid. It was about like 8 years old, and my dad started teaching me. And I took voice lessons all throughout high school, and I've taken music lessons from a lot of different people throughout life.
Sure, you're prepared for this. That's great.
Yeah.
What about you, Greg?
I started playing piano when I was 8 until I was about 12, and then I picked up the guitar when I was 13. My brother and sister actually bought me my first guitar for a bar mitzvah gift. It was a Gibson SG, and they bought me a brand new Gibson.
Sweet.
And I think one of the things that motivated me is my brother is a very I don't know what the word
frugal.
is. Yeah, he's smart
in his investment.
He's an investment manager. He's a portfolio manager at a money managing firm. I don't know which one, but his view on this was that if he's going to spend a lot of money, he wants to see a good return on his investment. And he said if he agrees to buy me this new guitar, then I better, fucking learn how to play it and not be, basically a little bitch and just, give up after a year or whatever. And I guess that attitude kind of stuck with me. So, I never really took many lessons, but I took them here and there, but I'm mostly self-taught.
That's great, man. You better check and make sure you don't owe your brother 5% of the album proceeds for this, though. That's
seriously. Believe me,
he probably got some kind of contract.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, 13-year-old me. So.
There's me too.
Yeah, there's the bass player.
He's just the bass player. It doesn't even matter.
He has a lot of experience carrying equipment. So
yes, he's pretty much a glorified roadie.
Yeah, we actually mixed him out of the album.
Yes. We had one CD that we burned for Blake that had bass on it. And the actual artist doesn't have bass.
Oh my god.
I feel like we're getting closer to that fist fight interview. This is great. Okay.
That's pretty standard.
Well, let's talk about the tour. You guys are going on the Poltergeist tour. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we're pretty good friends with I guess what used to be Voyage of Slaves and is now Cryptic Hymn, and me and Josh both used to play in a band with Josh Mumford, and who's their bass player. So it kind of all
he's like the community metal bass player.
Yeah,
he's also in Anagnosis and Esoteric Burial.
Good Lord, bands galore.
And his band with his brother.
Amalgamate.
Yeah, Amalgamate. Yeah. He's also in that.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's kind of a band slut.
He really is. We love him to death. But yeah. So, yeah, we basically had ties with him. We played some shows with Voyage of Slaves and Cryptic Hymn recently at Mad Bar.
I think the first seed was planted when we played a show with Voyage of Slaves, like
at Lisa's Oak Street Lounge.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was kind of a whack show.
It was completely last minute.
Yeah, last second.
It was a terrible show, but we met the guys and developed a rapport with them. So we've been talking about doing a tour with them for a while, and and just kind of fell into place. They're a very seasoned touring group, and they're definitely a huge asset to this. They did a lot of the booking. I think Josh also booked a couple shows too.
I talked to Headboard.
Okay.
He definitely hooked us up. A dude from Stonecutters hooked us up to the show too, so that was really nice of him.
Now, so when does the tour start? How long is it going to go for?
It's going to be on
20th?
March 20th through the 28th, 9 shows back to back. It's going to start in Metropolis, Illinois. It's actually probably going to be a pretty awesome show. Like from the get-go, there's already a lot of people, hitting up the Facebook page for it, so that's cool. And then we're going to Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and then are we going to Birmingham?
Yeah, Birmingham.
And then Birmingham, Alabama, and then
Hotlanta.
Yeah, Hotlanta.
It's making a big circle.
Yeah, we're kind of doing a circle jerk, and then we're going from Atlanta to
Spartanburg.
We're going to Spartanburg,
North Carolina, South Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina and South Carolina, not in that order. And
Did you just say you're doing a circle jerk? Because that's not the kind of interview I was planning, but I guess if that's what,
Yes.
No, okay, so you're touring, you're going in a circle.
yeah, right.
Man, we're getting there. We're getting there, fellas. So close. Okay, so, and you end up 9 days later, so it's 9 days back to back.
Yes. Yeah, after Atlanta, it's Asheville, North Carolina, then Spartanburg, South Carolina. Then we're going to do... we're going to hang out in Covington, Kentucky after that, in Cincinnati also, in North Cincinnati. So it's going to be 2 different crowds there. Then we're going to come back and finish in Louisville. So at Expo 5. So that's going to be a pretty awesome show, too.
That sounds like a grand tour, man. That sounds excellent.
An old show as well.
All right, so let's review. Why don't somebody just kind of give us a review here? What's coming out when? When do you start? When is pre-order? When is album? And when is tour start?
Okay, so we're taking pre-orders for the album on March 13th, and it will come out on March 28th. We are going to be setting up some pre-order packages. We got a bunch of new shirt designs in, and we're definitely looking forward to bundling those together and having people save some money on that. And also, when you pre-order the album, we're going to make it so that you can have a digital copy of it as well when you pre-order it, so that you can listen to it
while you wait.
Yeah, while you wait. So, and we are leaving on the 20th and are coming back on the 28th of March. Sure.
What's the name of the new album?
It is Conduit of Darkness.
Conduit of Darkness. Excellent. So, be sure to check out Dysphorium on the Poltergeist tour. Be sure to pick up Conduit of Darkness. Get your pre-order on the 13th or the album on the 28th. And be sure and check them out in Metropolis, Illinois on March the 20th. Guys, I appreciate the interview. Excellent job.
All right, thank you.
Sir.